What is wrong with people these days? I had an appointment to get my eyebrows done. I got there a little early, so I was killing time looking at shoes that were on sale outside a shoe store. This huge man, like well over 6 feet and built like a brick wall, makes a beeline towards me. If I hadn't slipped out of the way and started walking towards the eyebrow place, he would have slammed into me hard. He says to 2 men standing nearby, "This bitch is running away from me like I was going to kill her or something. Did you see that? I wasn't going to hurt her." The other men are very studiously staring at the shoes and don't say a word or look up at either of us. I continue to walk away and say nothing. He starts yelling towards me, "Hey, come back. I didn't mean you no harm. First of all, you almost slammed into me. And then you called me a bitch. What possible motive would I have to go back and engage at that point? What is wrong with people?" My assumption is that anyone who is so worked up that you avoided being impacted by them wanted to hurt you in some way. Nor exactly the same thing. But a woman friend of mine was walking down the street when a man coming from the opposite direction veered and shoulder slammed her and yelled, "Can't you look where you're going, you stupid cunt. Op. You were right to be careful. Some men just enjoy hurting women." Today's society is why I wear headphones. Even though I'm judging myself and was raised to be polite and overall friendly, I just can't even with people these days. Men in particular. If he almost slammed into you, then he knew exactly what he was doing. He was going to slam into you or bump you as an excuse to get handsy. Who but the worst misogynist calls a woman bitch at all when he doesn't know her? Am I imagining hearing about more and more physical altercations between women and men in public? He was looking for a reason to accidentally hit a woman. It was a accident. You dodged a bullet and he dodged an assault charge. The whole yelling out how he wasn't going to hurt you and to come back and slur just further proves he was totally going to hurt you. I feel bad for any woman, child or pet in that man's life. Look at him having to let others know he's a nice guy. So gross. Love how the fact that he wasn't going to hurt you obligates you to stand around and be tackled, bumped into, in uncomfortably close proximity, to some asshole. Something that really bothers me is when dudes walk up behind me too closely. It's very rude. And I know why they do it. I've had it happen a lot where I'll be in a store or something and someone will unintentionally be around me staring, but obviously trying not to. Even that doesn't bother me as much as coming up from behind. I already have PTSD. So these sorts of situations are volatile for me. It's not like I walk slow either. And people even do it while I'm with my boyfriend. People have no shame for real. Sometimes people will bump into you while pickpocketing. Happened to me. The guy bumped into me at the grocery store. Squished my bread. Grabbed into my jacket pocket. Got my keys and dropped them on the floor. A co-worker had his wristwatch taken the same way. Guy in a tourist spot. Asked us what time it was. Dummy co-worked showed off his watch. Later that day the same guy bummed into dummy co-worker. Poof. Watch was gone. Yeah. Calling her a bitch and then yelling after her is totally giving us all the impression you don't mean her harm face with rolling eyes. Sounds like a manipulation tactic or something by trying to make you look bad to others. Continuing to walk away without engaging him was the best course of action. He likely wanted a reaction out of you and you didn't give it to him. Actually those other guys being uninterested may have helped too by denying him validation or an audience. He wanted attention and nobody gave it to him. Tears of joy. I live 2 blocks from a gas station. So I walk there frequently. At least, I used to walk there. Twice I have had asshole men in cars bother me. First time I had a guy throw a glass beer bottle that shattered at my feet. The next incident was a guy who yelled FC King CNT at me. I am almost 50. Not sure why men suck so much. This bitch is running away from me like I was going to kill her or something. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Dr. Maya Angelou. The fact that he could envision this scenario, that these words came out of his mouth, tells me everything I would need to hear. I don't trust any men at this point. He appeared to be lying in addition to violent. I hope that this solves the mystery. I have to wonder, do most people just run into each other when walking around? Almost every time I am on a sidewalk, there is a close encounter where someone will either walk into me if I don't jump out of the way, or bump on passing. I've taken to just stopping in my tracks to defend my space. 0 to gaslighting in no time flat. Maybe it's social media training and emboldening people to make them seek reinforcement of their prejudices. If you don't move, he gets to violate your space. If you do move, he gets to feed his persecution complex. Ladies, is it bitchy to care about personal safety? For real though. Everything about this guy screams I want to harm you. Glam you were able to avoid him. I think people most often. Men don't understand the way their movements and body language are perceived by other people most often. Women. But even more harmfully, too many of those people take it as a personal offense when someone is startled or scared by them, instead of trying to understand the way they behave in public. Selfishness, a lack of self-awareness. Edited to add also, shame on those other men for saying nothing. Do not engage, do not let them into your narrative. Sounds like someone not of sound mind. You. Minding your own business. Say nothing. Walked away. Him. Gets angry. Blames you. Name calls. But yeah. He's nice and you're a bitch. He wins the logic contest. Like okay, but I don't feel like being bulldozed by a linebacker today, thank you. Look, I am klutz and have a issue with spatial awareness with my autism, so yeah, I get unknowingly bumping into people. Sounds like you did. What instinct does you get out of the way? Like you didn't feel like playing chicken. Edit from spaz to klutz because true is an offensive word for us to be called. Yeah. His reaction was totally normal and didn't make your feeling threatened justified at all. Giant S. What a freaking weirdo. He needs to change his dating methodology if that is his way of trying to meet people. That's so fucked up. This probably explains a lot of shootings these days. He was only whining because he hoped they'd help him tackle and attack you. You did very good to dodge him. Those 2 other men are cowardly fuckwards. Good on you for ignoring the big brick wall. He had nothing important to do or say, and your ignoring him will hurt him as much as absence of love in his life. He does it to himself. And he deserves it. I hope your eyebrow appointment was fun, relaxing. Might be worth letting more security know about this guy if he did it to you. He probably tries to do it to others. If security knows he's a risk, they'll start documenting his incidents.